Hey everybody, welcome back to another headless ASMR video. Today I'm trying something a little bit different. I'm not at home, I'm actually at my parents', and what that means is I have a box full of all of my old Yu-Gi-Oh cards from when I was a kid, and they're all kind of, not well taken care of with these, rubber banded piles, but I thought it might kind of be fun to look through them, see if we can find anything cool. Now, I will admit I did go through these about a year or two ago, probably 2 years now, when I started getting back into the game and pulled out most of the cards that I thought were worth it, but I know I didn't get everything, and I figured if I was going to go through them anyway, I might as well kind of make a video out of it. So if you notice it's a little different, sounds a little different, I bought a wireless microphone to plug into my phone so I can kind of record when I'm not at home at my desk. So yeah, I'm using my phone to record the visuals, and I have it propped up on like 3 boxes, and not the greatest setup, but I'm trying to make it work. So, let's go ahead and just start looking. I did find a pile of a bunch of sleeved cards, so I think what I'll do is I'll go ahead and grab those first, and then we'll kind of see where we're at. So we got a Summon Skull, that's pretty cool. This card, Fusion Raichi. I remember being fascinated by this card when I was younger. I don't really know why. I think maybe just because it was an ultra rare that had a ton of text and I didn't really know what it meant. So, that was pretty cool to find. Yamada Dragon, Red Eyes Darkness Dragon. Then we got a Fairy Guardian. Sorry about any glare too. The lighting in here is a little weird. Judgment of Anubis. Not really sure what set that's from, but it's a pretty cool looking card. Dark Cure. Kind of a cool card. Painful Choice. Now that's a pretty good card. Pretty cool one. Not first edition, but it's still back from when they used to call everything magic cards. So that's pretty cool. I'm going to put that to the side, actually. Millennium Scorpion. Stone Statue of the Aztecs. Unshaven Angler. Skull Layer. We got a starter deck Joey. Penguin Soldier. That's pretty cool. Let's check the conditions. Not great. Some flaw up there. Pretty warped. Oh well. Honestly, I'm not really expecting the conditioning to be good on any of these. The Rock Spirit. I remember this being in all kinds of decks when I was younger. Not great ones, but a free special summon is pretty good. Silent Magician level 8. That's a pretty cool one to find. Again, not first edition, but still. Then we have a movie, Tinian the Great Sphinx. I think it's from the movie. It might not. I don't actually know what that set code is. Regardless, that's pretty cool. First edition Cyber Dark Edge. Super rare. I don't know if it's just me, but the old super rares just look so much better than the current ones. Maybe that's just me. Then we got Jowls of Dark Demise. Got a Last Will, then a Butterfly Dagger. A monster equipped with this card increases its attack by 300 points. When this card is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, while equipped to a monster, this card can be returned to the owner's hand. I know one of the daggers or swords is banned. I can't think of which one right now off the top of my head, but it might be this one. Got another pile here. Just gonna kind of go through a little faster, see if I can. MST, first edition of some printing. Probably starter deck Pegasus, if I had to guess. Change of Heart and Pot of Greed right there. Starter deck Yugi, and then I'm not sure which one that one is. Pretty cool. Hopefully this is kind of relaxing or nostalgic for a lot of you. There's a structure deck. Because, I mean, it is for me. It's cool to go back and look at all these from when I was younger. Kind of see where, the game was at and where I was. Maneater Bug and a Gemini Elf. A lot of damage right there, you can see. This one's pretty cool. It looked like the coloring looks weird on this one. Oh, a synchro. I know this is about when I stopped playing. I was younger. I moved schools. Actually, I wasn't really allowed to play Yu-Gi-Oh! At school. The teachers didn't want us to, but I moved to a different school that did allow it. But nobody played, and everyone said it was lame. So, of course, when I was 9 or 10, I was like, yeah, that game sucks. I don't play that game. So, of course, I stopped playing, and, now I wish I didn't, but I was saying all that to say that this 5D's starter deck or structure deck was like the last one that I bought, and like that's about the time that I stopped playing the game. So yeah, I don't know, I'm just kind of rambling there, but this is a pretty cool find. Is this a ultimate rare? I think it is. Forced back. Negate the normal summon or flip summon of a monster and return the monster to its owner's hand. It's a counter trap too. I don't know what EOJ is. Something of justice, probably. It's a pretty cool one to find. Got some Harpy Ladies, Super Rejuvenation, Hergeki right there. I have so many of these cards. I find them in Magic Jammers, Spirit Reaper. That's a throwback. Diffusion, Elemental Recharge, Hero Flash. Oh, this must have been some Jaden, like, hero deck that I had going when I was a kid. Hot take. Jaden is my favorite protagonist. To be fair, I've only seen the original and GX all the way through, but I've seen parts of 5Ds and I've seen parts of Zexal. when I was younger, I just thought the idea of Duel Academy was so cool and different that I really love that series, and honestly the nostalgia kind of carries me. White Horned Dragon, it's a cool one. Guardian Angel Joanne, that's a cool card. Mist Body, what did I get this from? Are these McDonald's packs? I think they are. I think these two are from McDonald's packs. MDP2, maybe the second McDonald's pack. That seems familiar, but I can't really remember. Vampire Genesis, another structure deck. Boss Monster, pretty cool. Beast of Talwar. For some reason I remember this card being like one that I had to take care of. Obviously you see that that went really well, but my parents kind of set like cards aside. My uncle was pretty into Yu-Gi-Oh, which is kind of how I got into the game. And he would kind of tell them like, hey, this card is kind of worth a little bit of money. I never had anything really expensive, I don't think, but there were a few cards that I wasn't really allowed to use until I got a little bit older. They were kind of set aside, so... Ooh. Another ulti. Miraculous Descent. Pretty cool to just be finding these. And, a fake card. If you were playing around that time, you knew that, fake cards were everywhere. Shaping the Magic Filed. It's a devil type magic card. Select one Freld magic card from card pile into cards on hand. Nice. Doesn't even have to write back. That's funny. Behemoth, King of All Animals. Morphtronic cards. Samorg. Bird of Divinity, another structure deck. Boss Monster. Ooh. I think that's Metal Raiders. Axe of Despair. Ultra. Not first edition, but still pretty cool to find. Bazoo, the Soul Eater. That card was in tons of decks. Strike Ninja. Oh. A DDS. Can't remember what that set stands for, but I remember it's pretty popular. Secret Exodia. Put that to the side and we'll look at that in just a second. Fairy Meteor Crush. A bunch of Harpy Lady stuff from the structure. First edition of Sunset. Luster Dragon. Pretty cool. Here's that Exodia. I remember this card from when I was little. It is heavily damaged. I didn't even know that's what the, I guess, inside of a card looked like. That's why you gotta take care of your cards. Here's another one. Mizera DeVille. I don't know this card at all, but it looks pretty cool. Fiend. The Impanchi card. I don't know if anyone can relate, but I guess they're somehow tied into the Dark World story. It says right there, Dark World. I don't know if that's before the current Dark World, but I always thought that the Denpanchi cards were so cool when I was a kid because I guess the story was really easy to follow for me. You know, he gets burned and turned into a machine or something like that. Put him to the side. Maybe we'll find some more of those as I keep looking. That's a Spanish card. Another one. I don't know how I ended up with those. More. I can't really read Spanish, so I wish I could. That'd be pretty cool. Like everything, I could a little bit in high school when I took the class, and then, you know, stopped. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Another structure deck, boss monster. If you guys remember this structure deck was horrible. It sucked so bad. Big shield card, not pretty cool. Let's see. I had to cut the video because some people moving around upstairs making some noise, so I kind of forgot where I was looking, where I was at. Armor X. Kind of cool card. Reaper on the Nightmare. Blackluster. Bazoo. Legendary Flame Lord. Zombira the Dark. That card was in a lot of decks. Mad Lobster. I'm going to talk about that card in just a second. Double Spell. Scatter Shot. Let's see, just going to kind of go through. There's a blonde Dark Magician. One of the evil ones. Thestalos. Another Yamada Dragon. So, this card. Isn't this the card that Konami kind of got in trouble with? That it's literally just like, not stolen, or maybe it is stolen artwork, but heavily borrowed or something, and had to be changed? Maybe not. I don't know, there's something about this card. I can't remember what it is, though. But that's pretty cool to have. I'm gonna have to look that up later. So yeah, let's get into some more. This is just starter deck, structure deck stuff, it looks like. Junk Synchron. Shout out to you, Save. Some of these cards are crazy that they were ever printed. Like a 1 tribute. Like even like for example, Root Kaiser. At the time it wasn't horrible, but like you had Gemini Elf, you had Mechanical Chaser. Maybe not Chaser. Whatever that card's called, but the 1850 for a 4-star, but a tribute summon monster for 1800 attack, like, that's just not worth it. You had summon Skull for that, for your single tribute to 2500 attack monster. And to be honest, Konami still does that. To this day, they still print cards that are like, obviously not that bad, but there's so many cards in current current sets that you're like, why? Like, why would that card ever be printed? It's just printed to fill pack space, but like, I don't really understand the philosophy behind it. But I don't work there, so I guess it's not really my job to worry. Shadow of Eyes. My Valentine card. Another Curse of Anubis. Armed Dragon. If you've seen my Armed Dragon deck profile, that's my only GOAT deck that I own is an Armed Dragon deck. Ooh, a giant Trunade. That's pretty cool. Is that card still on the ban list? I think it is. Snatch Steal, a recent one that just came off within like a year or so. Sorry if some of my rambling doesn't make sense. I didn't really think about anything I was going to talk about when I hit record. Sometimes I like to at least have like topics. There's another structure deck. Mesmeric Control. Secret Rat's pretty cool. Copy. Looks really pretty. But anyway, I usually like to have at least like a few topics that I'm going to talk about if I am rambling. But I kind of wanted this to be a really laid back, chill video. So I didn't do any of that, but so hopefully I don't sound too crazy, just rambling about, you know, who knows what. Goblin Attack Force. Now that's a card that was in a lot of decks. No Tribute 2300. Saint Joanne. Bait Doll. Heavy Storm. Had those cards in a lot of decks. Another Snatch Steal. Mahavilo. Equip cards. Solomon's Law Book. What happened to this card? I wonder if it was like a side of the road card or something. I have one of those a card my mom found on the side of the road once when I was a kid. It's the boss monster for the early fire structure deck. I don't know, like, why. It stood out to her because she was driving is what she told me. I was real little. And she pulled over and picked it up to give it to me. And it's just destroyed. It's like run over by cars and stuff, but I still have it to this day. I really like the idea. OCG copy of Spirit Reaper. Don't know why I have that. Nobleman Across Out. It's like a GOAT staple. Bunch of Spanish cards. There's another Apache card. Tribute to the Doomed, Metal Raiders. Not first edition copy, but all things considered, it's not in the worst shape. Definitely like heavily played or damaged, but still. Cold Wave. Speaking of banned cards. Another Impachi card. The Fiend Mega Cyber. Talk about that in a second. Phoenix Blade. That card might be banned. That might be the one that's banned. There's a regular Impachi. Spanish. Avion. Okay. So I'll put this to the side. This card. Remember a little bit ago when I was talking about my parents had cards that they put aside that I wasn't really allowed to touch very much? Yeah, this was one of them. And we can see how that turned out. It's like folded. Crazy. I wish now I would have taken better care of everything. But, you know. That's how it is when you're a kid. Destroyed Monster Reborn. This looks like a starter deck pile. There's Charcoal Impachi. A wicked wooden spirit that is burned out. The barbecue grilled with this charcoal is so awesome that everybody thinks it's priceless. Poor guy. We just gotta find Blazing Impachi now. I know I have copies because, like I said, Oh. Blasting Fuse. Aldi. Not bad condition either. Sorry, like I was saying, I know I have copies of those Impachi cards because I remember being like enthralled by the story. Dark World Lightning. I got a friend who really likes Dark World. Maybe I should like learn the story of them. So I actually kind of know what happens. Speaking of stories, another one of my friends is a really big Orchest fan. Like World Legacy, Orchest. And kept telling me the story was really cool. So I started playing recently the solo mode in Master Duel for the World Legacy. Like the Mech Knights and the, World Chalice and eventually the Orca stuff. And it was a first edition LOB, Tama. But yeah, it's a really cool story. When I was younger, I didn't really know that a lot of these cards were connected as much as, they are. And I wish that, Konami would really focus on that, because they put a ton of work into these stories, and a lot of them are really good. Interconnected archetypes and everything, just in recent years, the whole Diabellstar, Snake Eye, White Forest, Azamina lore is a really cool story. And now without a mainline anime to, for people to be watching, I feel like they are doing the short ones, but we want a full 12 episode anime of something. It could be any of the good stories, but I feel like they just gotta do it. Akido. Sorry, I didn't realize I was out of the camera there. probably be the last pile I go through. Then I'll kind of yellow Ojama in this card. Then I'll kind of go through the cards, Macrocosmos, Hue, that I kind of set aside for these. We can look back at those real quick, and then I'll get off, and hopefully, if you're trying to go to sleep, hopefully I bored you to sleep, and then if not, maybe it was relaxing, maybe it was nostalgic, you know, hopefully at least. Discipline of the Forbidden Spell. That card art's really cool. Flame Swordsman. Alright. No Blazing Inpachi. Unfortunate. So you guys don't have to listen to me ramble about it. We got the Mad Lobster, Inpachi, Charcoal Inpachi, and then the 3 wood boards. Then we got this stack right here. Macrocosmos, Hinotama, Ulti Blasting Fuse. Pretty good condition. I'm gonna sleeve that. Feed Mega Cyber, Phoenix Blade, Tribute to the Doomed, OCG Spirit Reaper, Snatch Steel, 2 Heavy Storms, Goblin Attack Force, some more, Mesmeric Control, Guilford, Snatch Steel, Giant Trunade, Thestalos, Yamada Dragon, Big Shield Gardna, Exod, Penguin Soldier, Ill Blood, Mazera Deville, The Destroyed Exodia, Luster Dragon, Strike Ninja, Axe of Despair, Samorg, Behemoth, the King of All Animals, Miraculous Descent, Ulti. Look at that. That card is beautiful. Vampire Genesis, Mistbody, Whitehorn Dragon, Guardian Angel Joanne, Forced Back. Another really pretty card. Maneater Bug, Gemini Elf, Superconductor Tyranno, MST, Pot of Greed, Change of Heart, Butterfly Dagger, Cyberdark Edge, Dinian, Silent Magician, Penguin Soldier, and A Painful Choice. So those are the cool ones that I pulled out this time. And then of course, the pretty 3 Ulti traps. Well, hopefully this was at least fun for you guys to watch. I definitely had a lot of fun making it. Hopefully the mic doesn't sound too bad, and hopefully this was relaxing. So if you're still here, thanks for joining me. I appreciate you guys being here. I'm really enjoying making these ASMR videos, so thanks again. Hope you guys get some good rest if you're going to sleep. If you're not, hopefully it was relaxing. Goodbye.